thank the member for Herbert and I call the member for Capricornia.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. So many of us spend our lives trying to avoid danger. We make decisions based on which option will have the least chance of danger, and we often worry about whether our decisions will be the right ones. This is only natural. It is part of the human condition that we want to live as long as possible, as well as possible. Dangerous things and situations place this fundamental desire at risk. I think this natural aversion to danger is in every one of us, making the story of David Harris all the more amazing. David is a Rockhampton local, a man who has worked hard as a truck driver and someone who, in October 2015, failed to concern himself with safety. It was nearing midnight. David and his son Joel had a day of fishing and were returning home when they decided to stop in at a service station to grab a cold drink. They pulled up at the Shell Servo at the corner of Musgrave and High Streets and went inside to raid the fridge. As David and Joel turned and exited the door, they spotted a scene difficult to believe for anyone not there that night. A desperate man stood at a Bowser, a petrol nozzle in each hand like six-shooters, petrol charging from them, alight. This was clearly someone suffering very poor mental health and obviously affected by unnatural substances. The man was screaming and began to swing the Bowser nozzles around, spraying petrol and violent flames in all directions. Rather than turn tail and flee, David and Joel sprung to action. In what can only be described as a stupidly brave action, David went directly into the path of danger to disarm and restrain the crazed arsonist. It is worth noting that David Harris was at this point of his life using a cane to walk after a car accident left him with severe whiplash spinal injuries. He was not a well man, and for him to subdue this arsonist is nothing short of incredible. As David wrestled with the crazed man, his son Joel, just 14 at the time, hit the emergency stop button to stop the petrol from pumping. Quick thinking indeed for a young man. David and Joel were now joined by friend Matthew Hull, who helped secure the criminal, holding him down with David until police arrived and performed an arrest. After this kerfuffle, David was unable to move, his body racked with chronic pain and drained by the exertion. He was crippled. He chose, though, not to receive medical attention. He'd had enough of hospitals. David's story is incredible and more than worthy of the bravery awards he has been honoured with. He is uneasy with the limelight and shuns attention when it shines his way. David is a true hero, though, and deserves all the praise sent his way.
Thank you. I thank the